All right, it's that time. Sony A7S III. We're making a video about Sony cameras because if you guys have followed my channel for some time, I have made nothing but Panasonic videos. I'm a Panasonic guy at heart. I've had the GH4, the GH5, the S1, S1H, the Panasonic EVO 1 cinema camera. I have been all Panasonic. However, the S1H has given me corruption files, and to be honest, I can't afford that on my sets, so kind of wanted to try a different market, a different camera, and the Sony A7S III really caught my eye the moment it came out. Just switching cameras and having to buy lenses, it was a cost-effective thing until recently. Of course, I ended up buying lenses and just made the jump and see for myself. I took the A7S III on a music video shoot where actually it was a live performance shoot, and I actually contacted my artist because I wanted to test it out before going forward and using it on a full production set, because I do want it to be my main go-to camera, because autofocus is essential at times. I've always said, yeah, I use manual focus and I can get away with it. I've done it with the S1H and all my other cameras. However, you gotta adapt to the new age, and autofocus is definitely clutch to have. And the Sony A7S III's autofocus, god damn, what the hell was I thinking? Let's talk about it. Alright, so we're gonna talk about my first impressions with this camera, because god damn, there's a lot of good things and negatives with the A7S III thus far. I do have like 6 music videos in the next 2 weeks, so I will be making more videos as far as actual production, music video, light, nighttime, a little bit of everything, right? But for this particular video, it was my first impression actually on a real production set. And this was a live performance I did in my studio with my homie D-Rec. And to be honest, yeah, the autofocus makes me regret it, because before this setup, I had the Panasonic S1H with the RS2, the DJI gimbal, and I had to rack focus with my fingers, and to be honest, maybe 40% of the shots were in focus. The A7S III, I'm just like moving around and just making it happen, right? It was just easy. And I hadn't even talked about what aperture I had throughout the whole live performance that you guys are watching, the push-in shots, the push-out shots. It was at 1.6. I accidentally left it at 1.6 just because, again, I'm like new to this camera, so I was just making sure all the settings were correct how I wanted it, as far as the 4K 10-bit, the frame rate, shutter, like the simple things. For some reason, I didn't account the aperture, but the whole thing at 1.6, it was in focus, in and out, and I didn't have to try. At 1.6 aperture, the fact that you don't have to try, that is a game changer for today's day and age. Like, we have never had this type of camera with this type of quality until today. I can go all the way into the subject, like the live performance that I just shot. Just going in and out like no problem, not having to rack focus myself with the RS2. For a one-man band, the Sony A7S III is definitely the camera. You're just moving all around, just having on autofocus when you could have it. There's times where you do have to adjust and go manual, but there's a lot of shots where the autofocus does the job for you. You don't have to stress, you don't have to overwork yourself. That is a big positive that I saw off this live performance that I shot with the Sony A7S III. That is one reason why I'm telling you guys, if you guys have a manual camera, don't tell me autofocus is for amateurs. No, like, you gotta adapt. The Sony A7S III is definitely reliable. The autofocus definitely can get you shots that you might need a crew with the Panasonic camera or any cinema camera that doesn't come with autofocus. You gotta adapt with the cameras that are out there. The 10-bit on the Sony A7S III, it's amazing. It looks good. The image, downfall to the image on my first impression with the live performance, it looked like crap. However, right now you guys are looking at the camera just the way it's looking, right? Super sharp. I don't like it, to be honest. I hate it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add something to this image, and I'm gonna go ahead and explain this little thing that I'm gonna add to the camera just changed the game, and this is why I'm honestly just making the Sony A7S III my main go-to camera. So let me add the product right now. Alright, so what I just added was a Tiffin Black Pro Mist filter. It's a 1/4, and to be honest, on that shoot that you guys are watching, the live performance, the shoot that I did finally with the Sony A7S III, that was the first shoot just to see my impressions before I actually take it on a real big production. It looks good. You need the Black Pro Mist filter in order to counter the sharpness that the Sony A7S III or any Sony brings out of the camera. I have dropped all sharpness in the camera. Hell, even before this, I was dropping the sharpness in post, and it still didn't look good. So the Tiffin Black Pro Mist filter definitely helps adjust that and just gives you a different image. The other beautiful part about the Black Pro Mist filter is obviously you get like a nice glow on the light. Before this talking head shot, it was cool. It was a cool looking image, but overall it does not offer the type of image, the cinema image that you get with a black Pro Mist filter. So if you guys are planning to go Sony route, definitely invest in a black Pro Mist filter. So that was one negative, it was the sharpness. So far everything else, I don't like the IBIS either in the Sony A7S III. It does not look good. It looks like you're kind of, it's fighting with your movement. It doesn't look like a Panasonic S1H where it's kind of floating like as if it was a kind of like a gimbal. Like you do see a little bit of different movement, but for the most part, the S1H, the IBIS is the best in the game. Those are my first impressions, to be honest. Like I really can't talk too much. Just overall, the black Pro Mist definitely changed the game and made me want to switch to the A7S III as my main go-to camera. All right, and that's pretty much for today's video. Again, just my first impressions. I only took it on a light performance, so I have a lot coming through your way as far as outside scenarios, nighttime, production sets. I'm gonna be taking it through its courses and other jobs that I have coming in the next 2 weeks, so you guys will see plenty of these videos going forward. And also, I did take out the Pro Mist filter, so I don't know if you guys saw a little difference right there. But anyways, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them below. Maybe give me tips when it comes to the Sony A7S III for these upcoming videos, or any questions or videos or takes you guys want me to break it down. Leave it in the comments below and I'll make sure I write it down, so when I go on set, I make sure I try to focus on those areas to help you guys as far as, you know, what the camera is capable of or where it lacks, in case you guys have any questions as far as that. But anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate you guys, love you guys, peace out. Oh, and also, if you guys manage to stay this long, I'm gonna go ahead and actually play about 30 seconds of the live performance for you guys just to check it out. Again, I can't really play the actual song because the song's not out yet, but I'll just go ahead and grab a song from Epidemic Sounds, played in that video, and just for you guys to get a glimpse of the image quality. The whole thing was shot with the black Pro Mist filter, so keep that in mind. So let's play the track and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.